Lord Vishnu is the Almighty God who appeared on the earth in 9 avatars. Krishna avatar is one of them. A long time ago, in the Upper Yuga, King Ugrasena ruled Mathura state. He had a son named as Kansa. Kansa was a great and over ambitious warrior. He had an evil mind. He wanted to become the king of Mathura in place of his father. He did not want to wait for King Ugrasena to hand over the reins of the kingdom. So, with the help of some demons, Kansa dethroned and imprisoned his father Ugrasena and became the king of Mathura. Devaki was the cousin sister of Kansa. He loved her very much. Kansa arranged marriage of her sister Devaki with his dearest friend Vasudeva. After all, the wedding festivities, Kansa escorted his cousin sister and her husband to their house. As Kansa was riding the chariot, a heavenly voice rang out from the skies. Oh Kansa, don't be happy. Remember it. The eighth son of Devaki and Vasudeva will kill you. Angered at what he had just heard, Kansa turned towards Devaki. He tried to kill her. However, Vasudeva pleaded with Kansa to spare Devaki's life. He agreed to give the newborn children to Kansa. Then he did not kill Devaki, but he imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva in the jail. Months later, Devaki gave birth to her first child. Vasudeva kept up his promise and handed over the child to Kansa. Sage Narada reminded Kansa about the prophecy. Kansa killed the first child of Devaki, dashing it on the wall of the jail. Thus, he killed 6 newborn children one after another. When Devaki expected her 7th child, she wanted to save the child from Kansa's wrath. On seeing her sad condition, gods ordered Yogamaya to help. They instructed Yogamaya to carry the 7th baby from Devaki's womb and place him in Rohini's womb. Rohini was Vasudeva's first wife, who lived in Gokul. The child born would be named Balarama. Soon after Yogamaya carried out the divine orders, word spread that Devaki had a miscarriage and had lost her 7th child. Kansa was relieved for some time. Months later, Kansa found that Devaki was expecting her 8th child. Now he was more cautious than ever. The divine prophecy turned at him. He was constantly worried that the child would one day grow up and kill him. Now that she was expecting her 8th child, Devaki radiated divine splendor. He prayed that she could save the child from Kansa's hand. Kansa ordered more guards to keep an eye on his cousin Devaki and Vasudeva. He told his guards to inform him as soon as the child was born. He then went away to plan his next steps. Finally, at the stroke of midnight, Krishna was born to Devaki in his divine form. He was the eighth child who was prophesied to kill Kansa. Vasudeva requested the Lord to change his divine form, else Kansa might recognize him. So the Lord changed himself into a small baby. He instructed Vasudeva to take him to Gokula and lay him beside Yashoda. He also told Vasudeva to bring the baby girl born to Yashoda and place her near Devaki. Vasudeva immediately picked up the baby to leave for Gokula. Miraculously, the chains he was bound each broke loose and the prison doors opened. All the sentries also fell asleep. Placing the baby Krishna in a wicker basket, Vasudeva left for Gokul. When he reached the Jamuna river, he saw that it was flooded due to pouring rain. But he had to save Krishna's life. So, without fearing for his own life, Vasudeva started walking across the river. With his every step, the waters receded, and Lord Vishnu, serpent Adiseshanak, protected by Krishna, spreading his hood from the rain by over the basket. Soon the river calmed down and Vasudeva reached Gokula. Finally, Vasudeva safely made his way to Yashoda's house amidst the heavy rains. It was still dark and there were no people around. He saw that Yashoda was asleep. A little baby girl was also sleeping next to Yashoda. He carefully lay Krishna next to Yashoda and carried the baby girl in his arms. He put the child in the basket and returned through the same way he had come. He carefully put the basket on his head. He then crossed river Jamuna and returned to the prison. As he walked through the prison halls, he saw that the sentries were still asleep, and no one had seen him go out and return. He entered the cell and put the child next to Devaki. He then put back his shackles that had fallen loose. When Vasudeva returned from Gokul and put back the shackles that had fallen apart, the baby girl started crying. The sentries woke up on hearing the cries and rushed to inform Kansa. He arrived soon after and snatched the child from Vasudeva's hand. He then took the child out and decided to dash her head on the ground. But unknown to Kansa, that child was goddess Yogamaya. Just when he was about to dash the child on the ground, she slipped from his hands and changed into her divine form. with 8 bejeweled hands holding weapons. She laughed at Kansa's helplessness. She told him that the child who would result in his end was born elsewhere. Kansa was filled with remorse at having killed Devaki and Yashoda's innocent children. He immediately set Devaki and Vasudeva free.